Actually, gonna have to do some video editing for this one, I think. Which sucks, but that's okay. It only sucks because it means it takes like 8 times as long.
Well, that's why they pay. That's why they pay you the big bucks, right?
Uh,
That is the joke.
Pretty sure if I was getting paid the big bucks, I wouldn't be panicking on how to pay the taxes for my car this month. But unless we're talking big bucks, like, you know, a huge novelty check for, you know, $8.
Yeah, more along those lines.
All right. So here we go. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. And this is the big, the momentous episode 700. So that's what I'll say once we actually get to 700. What do you guys think?
Nice. Yeah, I mean,
I think it sounds good.
Yeah,
It's a
I
start.
would. It's a classic for a reason, I think. So
Okay, see, I didn't do anything different there. That's the sad part. You guys just
Well-
weren't even paying attention, were you?
I was. Okay, all right. I'm off arena. All right, you want to do it again?
No, it's
No?
fine. It's fine.
Oh, all right.
I mean, there's no sense doing it now.
No, you're gonna be Chewy. You're gonna do the usual like, hey, here we are. Or
Yeah,
are
I
we
mean,
gonna be?
I'll just be Chewy, the lead dork, or whatever it
What
is
if
I
I
usually
want-
say. I don't know.
What if I want to be Chewy?
I've got it written down
I
here
guess so.
somewhere. Well, you can't be Chewy. You're Brian.
That's true.
This is not a bit. This is who we are.
Dang. Okay.
Okay, let's go over it. Who are you?
I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group, and I think maybe by the time we get to 700, I will have finally leveled up, and I will be something else. Can I triple class? I feel like I should be. Lead rambler, tangent master of the group, and obnoxious loudmouth. How
I
about
mean,
that?
that's a little too on the nose. I mean, after 700, it seems like triple classing is probably fine. Although, I would, I don't know if you should go that long on your intro.
That is getting to be a bit much, isn't it? So I'm still thinking I'll interrupt Mike.
Yeah, probably. I think I'll just stay the rules guy and the game lore guy. In my experience, even double classing is more trouble than it's worth.
So are you in a bathroom right now?
No, I'm still on my phone. My laptop is having trouble. It cut off, and now that I've gotten it turned back on, it's still working on updates. It's only like it's been doing it for like half an hour, but it's only like 23% complete. So who knows?
At least that number's growing.
Yeah.
It could be going backwards, and
I would not put it past it.
God, that happened to me once because there were multiple updates.
Mm-hmm.
And like I looked at it and it was like 75% done, and I left and I heard it restart and I came back and it was at like 35% done, and I was like, what?
mm-hmm.
Oh.
All right, and mine will be Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group. And in my experience, mine. Let's see, if I were to triple class,
I like the way I'm still just the lead dork and everybody else has 2, now maybe 3 things going on. This is...
I'm trying to see if I were to triple mine, what would my experience be?
Aren't I the egotistical one?
Indecisive.
How come I've only got one? What?
Mine would be indecisive.
I hear they're adding that in 6th edition or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Dark Souls, that's the one that starts naked. I can't remember I've never actually played a Dark Souls.
And it's because he has options, but it's just like, there's weapon options. Oh.
Ah.
And so he starts off with nothing.
I like it. I too have never played a Dark Souls game. I understand they're a little tricky. It's kind of that's the running gag, or kind of become a meme at this point, right? Oh, when there's a hard game, it's the Dark Souls of Mario games or something, you know? Dark
God.
Souls of
I'm glad that
like
people have
Farmville.
finally like stopped saying that crap. That was, when did Cuphead come out? Like 2018 or something? I kept hearing
Old
that it's
enough.
the 2017. I kept hearing that Cuphead was the Dark Souls of shooters, and I'm like, could you all please go to hell? Anyway, okay, we got to get on topic here.
Right.
All right,
And that
episode
topic
700.
is yeah.
We gotta work out what we're doing for 700. Oh, the screen still says 699. Well, I might as well go ahead and change it so I don't forget.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and...
All right, there we go. The Manapool is the Dark Souls of podcasting. That is us. Yeah.
That well done. Well done. We are podcasting on hard mode now. So,
yeah, cuz you know, 3 of you are married, 2 of you are with children.
but which 2?
Dun dun dun. Wait. Okay, so I had a really dumb idea for 700, but the more I thought about it, the more I thought it was not good. But like, this is 700 episodes, right? So it's like, what if we do a well, okay. So a lot of people, including Brian, wanted us to do some other kind of like retrospective thing.
Yeah.
Like we've done several times over the last how many years have we been doing this now? We started in 07.
We've been doing so 17 years in November.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty standard milestone thing to do.
Yeah, but we've done it several times at this point. You know, more than 2. Yeah. I'm pretty sure of. Oh, let's take a look back at something.
And then we do memories of a time.
Oh God.
Bad Dirk. Or potentially very good. I'm not sure, and that's the problem.
Be here all night, guys.
Yeah.
At least until 10.
Yeah, at least until he just dips out in the middle of the show. So, I was like, what if we do like a reverse retrospective where we look forward 700 episodes and do episode 1400. And then I thought about it and I was like, all right, so that's another, at the rate we're going, we would just, that's 2044. Like
we don't do numbered episodes as often as we used to.
Yeah, and it used to take an act of Congress to make us miss a recording. And now, like, if one person is like, I'm like, screw it, let's take the week off. Like,
you think about it, for the first several years, I mean several years, we were averaging 50 a year.
Yeah.
That's 2 weeks off, which, again, I know this is Chewy's job, but it ain't mine.
And they were usually, like, at the end of the year, too, because it's, like, one for Thanksgiving and one for Christmas.
Yes. Well, and sometimes, especially in the earlier years, that was then, there were a couple times where we would do previews, like, twice a week during preview season. Which there's no way we would do that now. So
that's right. We would do like 30-minute episodes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I think we got to those higher numbers.
You remember when?
Oh, look, we're talking about it even though we said we're not going to talk about it. But anyway, go ahead.
You remember when previews weren't just all shotgun blasted out at once?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those were the days.
Yeah. I remember.
When you started laughing, I thought you were going to ask if we remembered the time when we recorded a preview episode, lost it all, and then had to like re-record it again later in the week and pretend we were looking at everything for the first time and still happy and enthusiastic about it.
I think I had blocked that one.
This card is amazing. It's totally yeah.
And we were trying to remember. Right, there was a joke here. What was it? I remember the punchline, but what was the setup?
Hey, Dirk, don't you think this combos with that other card? And you're like, what? And I'm like,
yeah,
Dirk,
yeah.
I think you know which card.
Yeah. Good job.
And
Good
you're
job,
like,
Brian. Yep. That's right. Yeah. I've completely forgot about that.
Dirk, it was your idea last time.
I had honestly blocked that because it was awful. I think that only happened the once.
Just once.
I think just the once. But see, this is why people like retrospectives, is because it makes you go, oh yeah.
But
I'm
anyway,
not saying it's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean we've done the look back several times over the years, so
yeah.
But I was like, okay, we'll do like a look forward and do like a fake 1400 episode, and I thought, okay, at the rate we're going, that's 20 years. Like we'll all be roughly in our 60s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Magic will be dead by then because Wizards of the Coast will have run it into the ground.
Or something will have killed Magic.
Yeah, and it's gonna be Wizards of the Coast.
Magic killer, something at that point will have killed Magic.
And I'm pretty sure that we're gonna outlive Magic, unless something awful happens. But or Ben said he would kill it, if that makes sense.
What'd Magic ever do to you? Well, actually, don't answer that question. Ooh, that's a loaded question.
But yeah, I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if I have the sunny disposition to look forward 20 years into the future anymore, because like Magic will be dead, and will have been dead probably for 10 or 15 years at that point. We'll be living under like dictator Trump Jr. or something like. And the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, that episode will just depress people.
Yeah.
I mean, we could play it up another way to try to be as optimistic as possible, and maybe it won't be realistic, but maybe it'll be a breath of fresh air of like, hey, maybe we'll actually literally have fresh air still. We won't actually be living in the real life version of Spaceballs, where President Screw has to Scroob has to take the can of air out and pop it. Because we've destroyed the environment. So, and here I am talking and I'm already getting negative. But, maybe we could pretend that it won't all be horrible and that my child won't be growing up in a complete dystopia.
Yeah, maybe Magic cards will be holographic then.
Oh God!
Like all of them? Right. You didn't mean foils. You meant actual holographs.
Yeah.
Like in another 5 years, Seto Kaiba will actually create the first dual discs.
Excuse me.
And will be like challenging each other in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
That's still a dystopia, but I'm more on board with it.
That's okay. The cards, like Wizard will have made the value go up enough that it'll be like a booster pack will be like $15.
See, already? Oh,
I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Jay Spencer said maybe by that time Magic can print foil cards that don't curl. Doubtful.
Oh, doubtful. But maybe on your way to the
make
soup
it foil
kitchen,
on both sides.
On your way to the soup kitchen, you'll be like, maybe I'll get to eat today if I don't run into another daggone red deck.
Make it foil on both sides. Hey, Mike?
Yes.
Shut up.
Let's see, what will the themes be? Because we've already had like every theme we can think of. So maybe they'll bring back classic fantasy as a giant twist.
they'll do an entire set related to just Super Monkey Ball, not the greater Super Monkey Ball expanded universe.
I was thinking maybe they could go back in time, but they've already done that.
They've already done that. I'm sure they'll do it again. Maybe they'll have one that's vegetable based. When I told Chewy this, I don't know, I said this on the episode before, last time we recorded, but as an early Father's Day present, Carrie took me and Sam to a concert, a video games live concert, and it was awesome. And yeah, if you guys, it's an actual orchestra, and in this case, it was the Greensboro Symphony, under the direction of a video game music producer. And I said his name, and Chewy was like, "Ah!" So I guess he's done bad things. So I don't know.
He's
But
kind of a twat.
Okay, is that okay? So it's not like human rights violations, more just general twatness.
I don't think so. I think he's
Okay.
I think he's
But-
just a twat. Yeah.
But he was there in person. It was pretty cool, and they played. And I'm not going to recount the whole thing now because we got more to talk about. But during some sets and over the intermission, like between some songs and then during the intermission, they would have little videos pop up on the screen that would have like some trivia, including like worst video game names. And on there, like number 10 was the Princess Tomato and the Salad Kingdom. And I remember like, hey, I've read about that in Nintendo Power back in the day, and it honestly sounded fresh. So I kind of liked it,
Boo.
but Sam was like, really, Dad, and I'm like, I know. So
Boo.
I don't know. So maybe vegetable based.
Oh my god.
I
I
just
think
know
the
I don't
original
want...
Unglued 2 was supposed to be vegetable based.
Really?
Yeah.
The one with the chickens and the dice rolling?
That was Unglued 1, but then the Unglued 2 set that Rosewater started planning was gonna have a bunch of vegetable stuff in it. But that ended up getting scrapped, and they did Unhinged instead. And I can't remember the major themes of Unhinged right now.
I think they took the one thing that they did the one time and it was special, and now they've done it a couple times to the point that we don't always remember. So
Have they done it like? Haven't there been 5 unsets now?
I think there's been at least 4.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Oh,
Yeah.
and did you all see the banned and restricted announcement recently?
Yeah. Sticker cards are banned and everything. No.
Yeah, the
Legacy.
Yeah, sticker cards and attraction stuff are banned in Legacy and Vintage now.
They were they seeing play?
Yeah, there was a goblin that could make mana when it entered the battlefield that was actually seeing play in Legacy. So like people who were playing the card brought sticker decks with them, and other people who might have a way of like copying or stealing the card had to bring sticker deck packs with them, and it was just stupid.
I mean, on the one hand, kind of interesting that it happened, but you don't want that. So
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know that this discussion started with, do we want to do this or not? And I think we've got some ideas, but...
I vetoed it before I even finished thinking about it. I just wanted to share it with you guys, because it's...
Okay.
Like I said, I could not be optimistic about it. Like, there's just no way. I am not that optimistic anymore. My optimism... Whatever optimism I had, was on life support after 2016, and then after 2020 it got shot in the face. So yeah.
Gotcha.
I wonder...
Yes.
Ooh, they're both online. I wonder if Bill and Cluze would want to join us for episode 700.
But they're online now?
Yeah, I could.
Cool.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I don't know why they would, because they're not on the show, but
No, I mean,
They
this
have
could
been
be a life...
before, right?
Yeah, and this could be a lifeline. That would be great.
Well, hang on.
That
They're
would
online right now. Why don't I just call? I'll add them to the call. Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's kind of forward of you, but we'll see what happens.
No, I poked them both, and they were like, yeah. So.
Oh, okay, so they know. All right.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna call them out of the blue. Good lord, I'm not a boomer. So there's Cluze, and there's Squee. We'll add them to the call and see. Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, which one's that? Okay.
Wait, are they both here?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, there's Bill.
Maybe.
Hey, there's Cluze.
There's Cluze.
Hey.
I can hear the bow tie.
It makes little propeller noises when he talks. It's amazing that he's a teacher.
Hey, Bill and Cluze. I have a question for you guys.
Uh-oh.
Okay. 0.5 times the speed of light.
Oh,
Plead the
Okay, hang
fifth.
on.
Plead the fifth.
let me write that down.
No. Don't plead the fifth. Never plead the fifth. Wait. No.
So, we're doing soon. We're doing episode 700 of the Manapool.
Yeah.
The Manapool. Wait, is that still going?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Next, you're going to tell me that it's got like a vibrant and thriving Discord community.
I wouldn't go that far. It's got
Hey.
a Discord community.
You know what? I asked a question and got some valuable answers in the Discord community just the other day.
Oh, well,
So
there
you
you
built
go.
your own Kibler Google?
Yeah, basically.
It was a
Excellent.
small scale Kibler Google.
All right, so it's like a Kibler Alta Vista.
It's
Got it.
Kibler Bing. We should probably be using Bing anyway, since Google has sold us all out and is kind of worthless now.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Kibler DuckDuckGo.
There it
Actually,
is.
yeah, I should probably use the Go over Bing. You're right. Bong? What's his name?
Microsoft.
say
Bong.
Kibler.
I'm not Googling
Kibler.
that.
Microsoft Bong, yeah.
Ben just heard you say something very different. So,
I mean, Ben's gonna say
Kibler.
stuff like that anyway.
okay.
But yeah, would you guys be at all interested in joining us for 700?
Oh.
I mean, I hope so, because otherwise, where am I? I mean, I just picked up the phone on the assumption that, you were just going to offer to buy my house for too little money, because that's what usually happens when I pick up calls I'm not expecting.
I mean, I'll give you $30 right now.
Oh, no, I'm
Wait,
not
wait,
moving
wait.
it yet.
Is that $30 to be on the podcast or for the house?
No, for the house.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, man. I don't podcast anymore. Not since the incident over Macho Grande.
I'm sorry, did you
I
say
mean-
Macho Grande?
He
Yeah.
did. Is that a Taco Bell thing?
It sounds delicious.
I am so disappointed in all of you.
I'm hoping that it's actually a Nacho Grande delivered by Macho Man to the song.
Now I'm disappointed in Squee too. I threw you guys
wait.
an airplane.
What do you mean
reference,
now?
I was gonna say, wait,
And-
hang on, I recognize
and you
this reference,
do
but
nothing with it.
it did not stick. I haven't seen Airplane 2 in so long.
Oh.
Because, one was just better.
Whenever you're in the mood, you're just going to watch one.
Yeah. Although 2 is not as bad as I had remembered, because, I don't know, a few years ago I watched them back to back, and I was like, oh, I thought 2 was just 1 again. But no, it's actually its own movie.
But parts of 2 were one again.
I mean,
Directly.
literally, but I thought the whole movie was just a rehash, of
Yeah, it
one
was.
again. But it
Like
wasn't
a
quite
la
that bad.
Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2?
Worse than that.
They
Wow.
literally just use clips of the first movie. So I guess it's like Superman 2, but more honest.
Oh. Or Superman 4.
It's like
They-
Superman 4.
They
When I was a
literally
kid.
used that one shot of him flying 4 times in that movie.
Yeah. When I got older, I realized why people don't like it. And I'm like, yeah, but...
For
So
years,
wait,
it was
are-
the
are-
only one I'd ever seen. And I
Yeah.
liked it fine. It was all right. I thought that's just how the Superman movies were. But anyway, okay, back to the topic at hand. Would you guys be interested at all in doing 700?
I mean, you guys would like to be on a show that actually makes it past 700 episodes, right?
Yeah.
We're actually here to shut you down. This
Yeah.
is kind of our role. We don't let them get past this.
Wait, no. Come on.
No, that's the limit. That's how far it goes. I mean, if you're not careful, Tom will show up, and then what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you don't want that.
No, Tom is already doing his own bootleg Monday Night Magic again.
Again.
That's what happens if you don't stop it. Gotta cut it off now.
Yeah, apparently he tried.
You go to 701, but then stop. Go to 701 and stop so that you're the longest.
Ooh, there's an idea. But no, yeah,
or you can.
He tried again. I don't know, a couple years ago, and he made it like not quite to 10 episodes, I think, and then he stopped. And now he started another one at number 1 again.
I wasn't aware that he worked for DC Comics.
Right?
Crisis on Infinite Monday Night Magics.
Does he just have to start putting the year afterwards?
Oh, like a video game reboot?
Number 1, parentheses, 2017.
Oh, Doom 2016, Mortal Kombat, parentheses 9. But no, really, would you guys be interested at all?
I don't think so, man. I'm serious. I have not done a podcast in some time, and I don't think I'd have anything to add. Oh, and you should probably stop before you hit 700 episodes.
Oh,
yeah, it is dangerous. Like, do you have any sweet preview cards?
No.
Oh, that's too bad then.
Although I think
what?
I think there is a set that's about to previews are about to start.
I mean, it's all the time.
Yeah.
Any given moment, yeah. But
I think
isn't
it's
it like
Modern
a new
Masters
Modern
3?
Horizons?
Modern
Yeah.
Horizons 3, rather?
Horizon 3.
Have they reached
Something like
postmodern yet?
I mean, there's a set, or there's a tournament format that is essentially postmodern, but I don't remember what it's called.
Okay. Is it kind of weird, but not really well defined?
Is that what Pioneer is?
I thought that was Internet Magic, but I'm pretty out of date at this point.
Oh.
Ben and Jay Spencer at the same time made a Post Malone playing Modern joke. That's pretty funny.
There you go.
Look, all I know is what I see popping up in Facebook, which is ads for whatever the most recent impulse grab, like secret layer is. And I've reached the point now where you could post pretty much anything and I would believe it because that's my only context of what Magic is now. And I'm like, oh, Cowboy Bebop, neat. Okay, sure, why not? And then like the next day it pops up and I'm like, oh yeah, Tony the Tiger, excellent, I can't wait. And then the next day it'll pop up and it'll be like, Elmer's Glue, this set, wonderful, we were due. Like, I don't know. You could advertise anything. It doesn't mean anything to me anymore.
Some number of those, by the way, are real. But I'm not going to tell you which ones.
Did they really make a Hatsune Miku secret lair, or was that a fever dream I had?
Yes.
Real.
It's real.
Okay.
Chewy, what was it? You played a bunch of games for the charity stream. I was over with you, and one of them was a game where you jumped from truck to truck.
Cluster Truck, yeah.
Yes.
We have
Odds on
people.
Cluster Truck having a secret lair by the end of the year.
I hope so.
Not the end of this year, no. In the next year, almost certainly.
I
There
feel
we
like
go.
they should bring back manual dexterity cards if they're going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Deck. And then before you realize that you're just playing Pogs.
I remember Pogs. Oh man, they were gonna be awesome. I couldn't find anyone to play with.
NFTs now.
Well,
Yeah.
if you guys can't be there or are choosing to sabotage us, I guess that's okay. But
It's
do you
not
have any?
choosing, it's that we're obligated to.
This is the natural order. You're not supposed to go this far.
Yeah, it's for your own good. Do not fly too close to the sun.
You remember how Y2K was dangerous because no one was really thinking ahead? Well, this is what happens if you take over to 701. It just restarts, and then you're Tom. And you don't want to be Tom, do you?
I
if I can help it.
How much does Tom make?
I mean, how much do you think he makes? He's on his third Monday Night Magic.
I mean, from podcasting, probably not much.
Not what I was asking.
All right then.
But no, if you guys are gonna destroy the world by just continuing on with these numbers, and you want it to be your fault, I guess that's on you.
I am a almost middle class, probably middle class, white cisgender dude. The world's problems are already all my fault. So what's one more thing?
That is possibly the most that classification you gave yourself thing you could have said.
Also, he's a lawyer, so anything that isn't his fault for the others is his fault.
Well, I think the thing you did wrong there was not to mention that the world's problems are not your problem.
But they are.
No, then.
Oh, darn it!
No, I didn't say they weren't your fault. I said that as a middle-aged white cisgendered, guy, that they're just not your problem. Like,
once things get bad enough, you'll move to New Zealand with all the rest of them. We understand.
I think I'm too much of a globalist. I believe that we actually share this planet with other people, and not just, Texas.
Are you sure you're a white cisgendered middle-aged man? Because none of that sounded right.
Hold on, I'll go check. I'll be back in half an hour.
All right.
Yes,
I'm worried
still
that it takes
cisgender.
half an hour. Okay.
He's one of those filthy liberals.
One of those people that has to go all the way home to go to the bathroom.
Oh my god. Okay then. Well, if you guys aren't gonna join us for 700, then we gotta get back to figuring out what the hell we're gonna do.
I wish you luck, but I want us to survive.
I mean, the most important thing is that whenever you're done, you have to stay on the call till 3 a.m. That's just tradition.
Well, we're gonna lose Dirk right there.
Yeah, we're gonna lose Dirk.
You'll lose me right there
at around 10 o'clock on the dot, and we'll lose Brian in about 15 minutes after that. And then it'll just be me and Mike. And since Mike got married, I'm trying to not hold him for very long anymore. Our post-show odds and ends are like 20 minutes max these days.
Oh, that's the show you should make, odds and ends.
A big odds and
ends the first part.
episode.
Yeah, I've long championed the idea that it was always a better show than the shows, so do that.
Now, I'm all caught up on those now, by the way. Did you know that?
Really?
You say you're out to stop us, but you just gave us the best idea that we can come up that anybody's come up with.
Yeah, but you'd have to start renumbering.
Oh, I gotcha.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
This will get you 700 more, or 699 more, but then you'll have to stop again.
So here's my marketing advice to you. Whatever number you're on right now, start going down, and then people are going to wonder what you're going to do when you get to 0. They'll stick with you for another forever.
Oh, hey, I heard recently that
But that also means that we have to go. Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that it's passé to actually number them anymore. You just give them a title and just let it go. So you don't even need a number. Just stop.
We could do the Friends naming convention. The one with blank.
You could also follow video game logic and just do $6.99 every week forever. You just get stuck.
Could do the
add a subscript or a letter, like $6.99 A, B.
Get into hexadecimal.
Yeah,
we could do the Xbox naming convention where it was Xbox, then it was Xbox. Did they ever do a 2, or was it just?
No.
They skipped all the way to 360. They did not know numbers.
360, and then the 1 or something.
And
I don't know.
It was Xbox Series X and S.
Yes, because those 2 letters aren't at all confusing.
You can tell that it's from the people that make computers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, XS.
Whereas Sony is just like 1 through 5. Yeah. Well, it's good to talk to you guys, even if you're out to stop us.
Yeah,
Even if you're just going to leave us hanging.
Even though you're no help whatsoever. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we were never helped before, so why start
I
now?
mean, that's true. Yeah.
All right, fine. Well then, in that case, like I said, we gotta get back to it. So I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for being around for me to call you.
Oh, of course.
Do what we can.
Okay.
So are they gone?
I don't know.
I literally don't know how to hang up this call.
I don't know
It's
how to
the same
kick you
button it's
either.
always been.
Oh, wait, I found it. I found the button.
Step 2 is pressing it.
I was gonna say he said he found the button, but he's still here. But there he goes.
All right, I'm leaving now. Goodbye.
Okay, bye.
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 I was thinking that if they didn't actually get off this dang call soon, as nice as it was to talk to them, they'd be on the episode where they wanted to be or not. But I had an idea while they were passively, aggressively, maybe not passively, trying to shut us down. So it's episode 700, right?
Okay.
Not everything has... No, it's going to be episode 700. So, not everything has to be 700 this, 700 that. But, what is the best thing about us, other than Dirk? Our community.
My amazing ass.
No. Well, it did call me the other day. So, we butt-dialed each other a day, within a day of each other. But, no, our community. And so what if, in between now and the actual episode, we solicited questions for them and we answer 700 listener questions? Nothing out of bounds. I mean, well, maybe a couple things. Depends on how open you guys are. But 700 questions about anything, and it doesn't have to be all related to magic. And hopefully they have, like, I don't know, like one sentence answers, because 700 is still a big number. But yeah, how many?
Like, that's well over 5 hours for 30-second question and answers.
I was about to say.
Is it? See, I don't do math, so
Obviously.
This is why I'm glad. Yeah, Dirk, you're a science person. Tell me if that adds up.
Like 700 times 0.5 is so that's 350 minutes.
Oh.
So we divide that by
350 minutes.
60, and that is 5.83333 hours.
Okay, so to get finished by 10, we'd have to start at 4:30 in the afternoon, and work through dinner.
We could limit to 15 seconds per answer, and it'd still be 3 hours. So,
It's like question and answer together with like no intro, no outro.
I would totally not be able to ramble at all, would I? I would start answering a question a little longer than I should be, and Chewy would be down, like, on my sweet butt. He would just be like, yeah.
You have to start playing the Oscar walk-off music.
Get the hook?
The video game awards.
That would be the whole show.
Yeah.
And if
just
Brian tried to ramble, one
every
of us
5
would have
seconds
to
I'd go, ba 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 ba.
I mean, yeah, you pretty much have to start it as soon as like, we'd start a question, and then by the time we're even halfway done with the answer, even with a short answer, we'd be like, okay, every question has to be yes or no. I feel like this is more work for the listeners than for us, though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No?
No.
Okay. Well,
All
if you're
right.
so smart.
Someone else in the Discord had a weird 700 thing. This falls under like the retrospective thing again, but
Okay.
it's very specific. He said 700 divided by 52 is roughly 13. So maybe take a look at the magic sets from 2011, because it's 13 years ago.
Okay.
and where each dork was at in life then. And I'm like, that's arbitrary.
2011.
Like
2011. Mike, were you even back in North Carolina in 2011? I think you were.
Yes, I was. I had been back here for a little more than a year.
Mike, were you even born in 2011?
Sam was, but barely.
Barely.
She was born at the end of 2010. I think Dirk's son Trevor was born that year. Is that right? Because he's 6 months younger than Sam.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't get
to dad.
Like I said, I think he was trying too hard to work the 700 in. Because I was like, okay, so that's if we did one episode a week, then we would have started in 20. I don't get it. I don't know. I just thought it was a very bizarre and very specific retrospective thing. Which again, no retrospectives again, but still.
I get where they're coming from though. So, and hey, I appreciate the thought.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think I've got another. I've got something, but this is going to take some math on my part. So give me just a minute. No, this is going to be great.
All right.
Somebody else? Does anybody else have an idea?
While he's doing math, you guys got anything else?
Carry the 2.
And you guys still there?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we're here. We had talked about. I think we had talked before. By before, I mean like a long ass time ago of making 700 like the big finale RPG episode. I think we're kind of there with where we left off last time, right?
Yes. Without basically promising anything, and of course you guys can do whatever you want within reason. As far as the arc that I had planned out since long ago that I don't want to remember, yes.
You want to do that?
The only issue is if it extends past that, like, do we just is it a feel bad of like, well, I had like another 2 episodes worth of material from what you guys decided to do. I mean, I know not everybody loves them. I think some people really love them. Some people don't. You guys in the chat, set me straight if everybody's like, burn the witch. But it's kind of been my baby for a bit, and I don't see another like 5 episodes worth of sessions. I don't.
Okay. But it's not a sure thing, is what you're saying.
I mean, yeah, probably not. If you are where you are, and if Chewie is like, wait, we need to grind, or we need to go see that one guy in that town that we never went to, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to be like, no, the town burned down because rocks fell on it. Fiery rocks.
A dragon eats you. Now shut the hell up.
Right. Yeah.
That's one of my favorite D&D jokes. I think it was from a Penny Arcade.
I think so.
He's like, a dragon eats you. Oh.
Yeah.
But like, I don't think enough people care about the RPG, to use that for 700.
That's fine. I get where you're coming from.
And also, since you can't guarantee... Oh my god. Since you can't guarantee...
That was awesome.
That's the end. It would be weird to have episode 700 be an RPG episode.
Yeah. This is amazing, and I'm like, yeah, we're not done. We're not done. Or you all die. So
there is that.
Yeah.
Best ending ever.
Yeah, it's my favorite part of whatever movie that was where everybody died. God, that was one of my like go-to like fake endings for a movie when someone would be like, don't spoil it. I'd be like, everyone died. And then Infinity War happened. I was like, I can't use that joke anymore.
Oh, I remember that was such a surreal experience. I did a late night showing of that on opening night, just me. I didn't see that one with you guys. So no one knew anything about it yet.
Ow.
And walking in, everybody was like, blah 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 blah. This is amazing, and the movie starts, and people are like, yeah, and the movie ends, and everyone is filing out, completely silent, and the people in line to go in are just like da 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 da, like just like happy go, and everyone walking out is like a freaking funeral procession, which is very appropriate.
Yeah.
The movie is what, 5 years, 6 years old, dude. We are past the blip at this point. It's been
Yeah.
5 years, but so Infinity War came out 6 years ago. So if you've had time for spoilers, but people started getting dusted, and people were having reactions in the theater. And it got to Peter saying, I don't feel so good. A lady literally cried out, oh God, no. Like, just people were having emotional responses to that. So, oh, oh man, you took me back. It's like some PTSD here. Thanks. I'm good. I'm good. I'm just not Peter.
I'm not crying. You're crying. Shut up.
Oh, Rogue One. I was trying to remember the other movie where everyone dies, where I had said I've got to stop using that. It was actually Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because that came before Infinity War, right?
It did.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I saw that with you in the theater. And we both remarked about how good the Tarkin look was.
Oh, yeah, it was a year and a half essentially. It came out December 2016. Infinity War was April 2018. Okay. So that's when I actually had to stop saying, "Hey, everyone dies," because spoilers, I guess, for movies that are
because now it potentially can happen, and
6 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
That wasn't really a thing in movies, and now it kind of is.
Yeah.
So
I can't wait for Ocean's 15, where everyone dies right in the middle of the heist.
Yeah. So getting back to Mike's idea, look, I appreciate that. I know you enjoy the RPG, and some people really do love it, but I would hate for it to end on a down note of like, oh, this is this big episode, and this, if it's kind of a letdown. Sometimes in RPGs that happens, but then you just move on to the next thing. But to celebrate a big episode that way, we can do it if you guys really want. But it would be a bit of a push for me, I think.
No, those are all good points.
Okay.
Yeah. I said, and if we don't finish, then again it'll just be an RPG episode, and that's a waste of a 700.
Yeah.
So while I started to jot this down, and I had to and I had an idea, and so 700, which I know not it has to be 700, but what if we did kind of like an interesting Magic trivia game? Here's the thought, right? Think of Jenga. With Jenga, you take the pieces out, and the less pieces are left. And you stack them up. The more pieces you take out, the more unstable it gets. So you really don't want to be the last person, right? What if we all start with a pool of 700 points, and Mike names a card because it's his turn, and we subtract from the total number of points. And this is where I was having to do some math to think about some cards. Uh, Mike names a magic card, and we subtract from 700 that card's converted mana cost, and if it's a creature, its total power and toughness. And then it's Dirk's turn, and Dirk has to name a card. He can't name any card that's already been named because that Jenga block has been pulled, and you don't want to be the one when it gets to 0. Eh?
What
So
in the
it's like
blue
an
hell
overly
are you talking
complicated
about?
game of NIM?
Like,
Okay, I did not.
Is this going to be like one of those Sam quizzes where if I can name what the card is, then I gain points?
And
if I get it wrong, then I lose that many points?
Okay, I just kind of pictured like taking down so that as you get closer to 0, you don't want, you're having to, and no using gather, obviously, but
I'm out.
unless someone needs to.
If it's a sample, I'm out. If that's the case.
Well, but you have an interesting idea of like, okay, you know, you name the card, and if the next person can tell you all the stats, maybe they'll gain points. But I don't know. I kind of pictured like you're working down from 700 together. Like, let's say Mike takes away 20 points because he names. I'm not going to think of something that's a total of 20, but he gets there. Well, then Dirk has 680 points, and eventually it's going to get down so that toward the end, somebody might say the wrong card and accidentally, you know, topple the tower. But I also know it's been a while since any of us have really played a whole lot of Magic aside from Arena, so you see where I'm going for? Do you think there's some potential, or do you think this is kind of like a dud? Because
but literally none of that will matter until we get down to like the last 3.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, and just because it's going to take so long, I'm probably going to start off like, if it were me, I would be starting off with, you know, Emrakul, Crows and Cloud Scraper,
yeah. Other Emrakul,
Polar Kraken. You know, it's like,
true. I guess.
this along.
So if we want to try something like this, we could, but maybe not for 700. And maybe we'd start with something like, I don't know, 20's too low, but maybe something like 70, where you want to name big cards at the beginning, but if you're not paying attention, you'll go over the line. Ooh, what if 3 people play and one person's a scorekeeper and they don't tell you what the score is until somebody goes out, and then we kind of rotate the scorekeeper. But you know, I'm thinking, but this is probably not a good idea for 700, because 700 is really
Ben said, I think
big.
we need to kill Brian before this goes any further.
Oh, I mean, I thought it had some. You know, it was better than what I write here. Designed 700 custom cards. It's better than that idea because, you know, as much as I love doing that, I don't want to. So I think this is better, but I don't think for 700. I submit 500 planes. They're all just planes.
Okay, wait, I got it. Are you ready for this?
Okay. I'm ready.
Episode 700. Shred Memory 2, Shred Harder.
Boo this man. Boo him. I mean, I loved, but Chewy, I don't even remember who you are. Do you know how many brain cells I need to have to go to court? Like, less than you might think. Don't tell everybody else. But I do need to have some. Shred Memory was a beautiful, beautiful, precious flower. And somebody else take over. I need to have an aneurysm in the corner because my brain is just like, no, I can't. Mike, tell him why it's a bad idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know Chewy's just messing with us because I don't know why he of all people would suggest that. But yeah, I mean, that was great, and it was a great joke, and it was a great concept, but it kind of only works once. Speaking in all seriousness.
That was actually another one from the Discord. I
really?
Can't take credit for that, yeah.
Shred Memory 2, Shred Harder?
Well, Shred Memory 2, I added the Shred Harder.
Okay.
God, it was so good, though. Like, people really had no idea what was going on until almost near the end.
Yeah, it was great. Some of those episodes that we do around that time of the year that we've never actually publicly acknowledged, because why would we?
We did one.
Did we? Okay. Well,
yeah, we gave it.
Those have been some of my most favorite episodes ever, and not everyone is great. For a while, it kind of felt like the Star Trek movies, where it was like every other year was like a great one, and then the ones in the middle were like not bad, but
the even ones were good, the odd ones were bad.
Yeah, or is it like the new ones where the odd ones were good, and then the even ones were come on, you know. Um, but yeah, some of those,
I'm so
but they're
glad
also
Cluze left because I have to say this. I did not hate Into Darkness.
I liked it.
Like, but that's because I'd never. I think part of that is because I'd never actually seen The Wrath of Khan from beginning to end. So I didn't feel like they were, destroying my childhood or something. I don't know.
believe it or not, I agree with you. I just kind of made the reference because so many people I have heard have had that reaction. But I saw Wrath of Khan as a kid, but keep in mind I was always a Star Wars person, not a Star Trek person. And I know you can do both. I wasn't, you know, picking on Trekkies or anything. I don't know, it just wasn't really my thing, but I still saw the movies. My dad took me to the whale one in the theaters when it came out, and I was like, this is pretty cool. Was that 4?
That was
That was
4. Yeah.
4. Uh-huh.
So, yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed that, but I agree with you. So I saw, honestly, I saw the first one with Chris Pine, and I really liked it. Tom loved that one. Probably saw it like 5 times in
Not
theaters or
that Tom.
something. No,
Our
no,
friend Tom.
a friend Tom who actually, unfortunately passed away last year from a really rare disease. He had a lot of he didn't play Magic, but he had a lot of, we would say, dorky interests and pursuits, and he was a Star Trek fan, so he saw that first one many times. But no, I saw Into Darkness and I thought it was okay. It didn't change my world or anything. I did like the first one a little more. I felt like the story in the first one was a little more
All right,
cohesive.
why are we reviewing Star Trek movies?
I don't know. Uh,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. Maybe we should review Star Trek movies for 700.
Yeah, we'll have a format change for 700.
What about?
I mean, I'm okay with this. What? Okay. Speaking of a format change, what if
Yeah.
this is the thing I've been thinking about for a long time? You guys know
Okay.
those like corporate team building things retreats you can go off to?
Yeah. Yeah, like you can throw each other off of rope ladders and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. What if the 4 of us, like I booked the 4 of us at one of those corporate team building things, and we just record the whole thing, and then I turn it into an episode? I guess that would work better as video, wouldn't it?
It would.
I think they do that at the I think you can do that at the Greensboro Science Center.
They have a ropes course over there. Yeah. So this wouldn't be like a weekend sort of thing where we're living off of squirrels and whatnot, right?
No, not
This
a
would
survival
be
course.
okay. Good, because you don't want to see what happens to Brian when he has to survive. I would probably go feral in way less time than the average person. But yeah, for like a couple hours. I don't like heights. Is that a problem? Okay.
They're not all about what?
I actually figured this out. I don't have a fear of heights exactly. I have a fear of falling. And I know
Wow.
you're like, nope, there's a difference. There's a difference.
I don't have a fear of spiders. I have a fear of spiders crawling on me.
Yeah, like that.
What you said, but without the sarcasm, yes. I mean, I had
either of you other two have any ideas?
I had another one, but that's me.
We've
Go
heard
ahead,
enough
Dirk.
of your nonsense for a minute.
So, what if my thing that I like us kind of doing and brainstorming is designing stuff? So, what if we decided we each came up with a god for each of the colors? You know, like going back to on that, let's do like the solid monocolored gods. I don't know if you want to pick a pantheon or if it was just just design one freestyle wise, and with it's enchantment until this number, and then we just kind of come up with abilities that it should have.
So like So, because they put out multiple gods, we had the first gods in what, Theros,
And
but
Theros
then
too.
we had a different take on the gods when we went to Amonkhet, and then even when we revisited Theros, they still worked differently. So we've seen gods on different planes, and they seem to still represent essentially, as Gideon put it, rest his soul, that a god on any plane is essentially the embodiment of an ideal, right? Think of it almost like the old school incarnations, hope, glory, things like that. But the people of that plane give it a name and a personality. And so on Theros, Heliod is the sun, but he's also kind of an arrogant
Twat.
a hole. Yeah, yeah. So so he has personality as well. So you're thinking we what design ones? Do we do it based off of something like a certain mythology, or we just kind of come up with them on the spot? Like, I want to create a god of deceit because I hang around with you guys all the time. So
Because you're a
something like
lawyer.
that. Yeah, that yes, that's a thing too. Or Dirk, walk me through this.
I guess we could kind of choose a plane and just go from there.
Because because the ideals of a plane are kind of tied to that
Right, right,
plane.
right.
A god of the sun is going to look different on Theros as it is on Innistrad. A god of the sun on Innistrad is going to have a very, very unique identity.
Well, since Dominaria is like the main plane and everything, maybe we could do something like that. Oh, like after the Phyrexians and everything, and all the planes open, maybe some gods decided to move to Dominaria, and took uh like personas or something from it. So what would a god on Dominaria look like?
Dominaria, but
Yep.
close.
Did
But now
Brian
Man,
just correct somebody's
Did
pronunciation? What the
Brian?
hell?
Yeah,
I will
yeah, I
never
know.
do it again. I will never do it again. When Dominaria the set came out, they actually kind of retconned the name a bit, and they said they want to do aria like a song. So that's how I remember it. But so now I'm trying to follow the thread here. Are these gods from other planes that have crossed through omen paths and come to Dominaria, like setting up shop?
Why not?
I mean, that I'm just trying to follow you. So, hey, I hate the desert. My plane is a desert. This is not a desert. It's mine now.
Hmm.
That seems like a god thing to do. Um, I think it has merit. You know me, I am Mr. like create cards. So maybe I'm not the best judge of the pluses and minuses of this idea. What do you other guys think?
I just, I just hate
it's worth
stuff
the
like that.
it's worth the thought. It'll need a lot of prep work to do properly. Like that isn't something that any of us could do effectively on the fly. We'll just need to
Chewy,
be honest with ourselves about that.
Chewy, how much free time do you have these days?
I mean, more than you probably, but
Mm,
I just, I don't know. I've never been one for designing car, and this sounds like a normal episode. This doesn't sound like a 700 episode even.
I mean, you've done some of the ones where like you've played with cards and things that I've made, but you don't usually step into the role of designer yourself. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, because I don't especially like it.
You hate it with the passion of a thousand suns?
It's not quite that bad. I just don't. I don't get into the making up cards thing like you
You
guys do.
you don't get a thrill from it. So,
Yeah,
I get
because
that.
I don't know if the listeners know this, and hopefully they don't. But we really do fly by the seat of our pants here. There's very rarely any work that goes into these episodes ahead of time.
Not for a while, yeah.
Um, I
Oh,
mean, we could do a special. You remember how we used to do story circles where, we would build a deck, and later they really focused on commander because then we didn't have to be like, okay, how many of this card do we need? Do we need 3 copies or 4 copies or whatever? But we would pick a commander, and then we'd go around, and each person would name cards that had to go in the deck, and the cards we picked not only made the deck more diverse, but it showed off different aspects of our own personality. We could do something kind of like that for 700. Try and tie in the concept of, hey, this is episode 700 into this somehow, but build a commander deck together, whether it's a story circle or something else. Just try to tie that in. But I know you don't like designing.
Brian, are you bouncing
cards.
Stuff while you're talking?
I was tapping my pen up and down. Was that actually going into the microphone?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Then I will stop, because that was probably annoying.
Yeah.
The pen is over there. Sorry, and you didn't see it, but I just made a wavy motion where I had put the pen. I apologize, but no, like we try to. I'm gonna lose Chewy for a minute. I totally was just absent-mindedly tapping the pen up and down, but like building a commander deck together. Incorporating 700. We don't have 700 cards. That would be dumb. But again, you wouldn't have to be designing the cards, just kind of picking out from pre-existing cards.
I don't.
We could build a 700-point Canadian Highlander deck.
700-point Canadian Highlander. Those are words. Do we have to go to Canada?
I don't understand how that's not just a story circle.
Yeah.
I'm doing my best here, man.
Fair enough.
Or like a deck with a $700 limit. I don't know.
I suppose, but we would have to we have to find a metric for that, like Star City or something.
Look up stuff, Never mind.
It seems like these days everyone uses TCG Player Mid, but but yeah, I don't know what anything costs ever. Literally ever. I have no idea. Apparently Tarmogoyfs are so cheap now, they're just giving them away in cereal boxes.
I remember when we were getting...
it's not good anymore.
When we were playing fairly close to when we started, and Arcbound Ravager came out, and I was like, $20? $20 for a single card? That is cost prohibitive. And yes, granted, I think even these days, spending $80 for a set of a card that you have to have in a deck for that deck to work, and that's literally just 4 copies and you haven't bought anything else for the deck, I do think that's a bit silly. But looking at where card prices are today, or at least where they were the last time I checked, I'm like, that's kind of cute. That I was so worked up about that when Tarmogoyf, shock lands, fetch lands, etc. are some obscene times that.
Is there not some way to just see the different Tarmogoyf prices all at once? Oh, here we go. Ultimate Masters Mythic, 115 listings from $8.99. Modern Masters Mythic, 96 listings from $7.
Oh
wow!
What about Future Sight?
Future Sight one is the lowest is at $12.50.
Oh man!
I mean, whew.
Like I said, they're so cheap now that they're just given away in cereal boxes.
Wow. I mean, on the one hand, I'm kind of like, hey, cards should be affordable. On the other hand, for everyone that invested in that card, I just kind of feel bad. I got a copy of a Future Sight Tarmogoyf, when Future Sight was out. And at some point, I went to an event, and I didn't have another, $40 for a side event, so I traded it and got free entry. And at the time, I'm like, sweet, free entry. And later, I was like, Brian, you're so dumb. So now, over the course of time, I'm like, hey, free entry. Nice.
Stark is in the chat. Stark said, shout out to Yu-Gi-Oh!, which has multiple $100 staples currently, some of which are played at 3 copies.
Wow.
Yeah, ever since Monday Night Magic stopped, at least the real Monday Night Magic. Heyo, ever since we stopped Monday Night Magic, I don't know anything about tournaments. I don't know what's being played. I don't know if tournaments are still a thing. I don't know how much cards are, and I found out that I'm a lot happier that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
I enjoy playing Arena. I do.
Huh.
That's it. I haven't played in a championship or anything on it. I just play standard. Sometime I have to hit Mike up for a brawl game.
Yeah,
I
that's
did
all I
make.
play on Arena
I made it.
Brawl.
I made a new brawl deck, red and black. That's all about. Chew will love this. It's essentially a one-sided. Um, what's the blue card that Chewie hates because it gives me his deck?
Shared Fate.
Shared Fate. Yeah, it's like a one-sided because it's the new Rakdos and it's got the legendary outlaw that for at the beginning of your upkeep you exile the top cards of the opponent's deck where X is the number of outlaws you have, and every creature you control that you don't own is also an outlaw, so it gets exponential. So I'll I'll have to brawl with you sometime. Just name the place, old man. Actually, you're younger than me, so. But it's fun. But I haven't played Paper Magic in forever and forget about a tournament beyond a pre-release, which I have not even done pre-releases for the last 2 sets. Hmm. Does anybody have any ideas that are not Magic related? I mean, on the one hand, Magic is where we got our start, and it's something that our listeners expect from us. So for something like 700, they might say, "Hey, this only feels like a Mana Pool episode if it has Magic related." But on the other hand, we don't necessarily want to feel like we are beholden to that sort of thing. So, does anybody have any ideas that are not Magic related?
I had one, but I don't think it's a 700. This is possibly a good non-magic episode.
Okay.
But I don't think it's a 700 episode. I kind of want to do an episode about mind-altering substances.
You're gonna have to continue that. Like you're gonna have to explain a little more about that.
Well, no, because I think we should probably do that at some point. So,
Do we have to talk about our personal experiences with said substances, or is this like a product review? Like, do I have to go out to because
yeah, we
in
would
this
go out, we'd find the guy in the neighborhood and just get a sampler platter of everything, and then get all messed up.
like a charcuterie board?
Yeah, a
Uh,
charcuterie
okay.
board of drugs. Wait, none of you here is a cop, right? Because apparently, if you touch fentanyl or get anywhere near fentanyl, you just die.
Brian the lawyer has entered the chat. In North Carolina, which is honestly a more purple state, don't let some of the state legislature sway you. We've gone for Trump and we've gone for Bush and we've gone for Obama and all that sort of stuff. We are still fairly conservative in a couple of ways, and one of them is controlled substances. Marijuana is not legal here for any purpose, including medicinal. So I've had clients who had a doctor's note from another state and were like, "Oh, that's too bad." Certain DAs are talking about how they want to do or do not want to continue with marijuana, but as of right now still illegal. So hey, we're not actually suggesting anyone go out and buy anything they're not supposed to. Okay, Brian the lawyer has left the chat. Do whatever you want on your own time. But I'm
I
afraid
heard
as
Seth
someone
was going
who
to reschedule it, right?
they're talking about
There
it.
was a press conference or something today, or a press release or something. Biden said they wanted to make it a Schedule 3. Is that what was said today?
Different. Yeah, there's the federal schedules.
Lower, definitely not a Schedule 1.
I don't know what any of that means, but
so
just make the crap legal. Jesus Christ, it's just weed.
the higher the schedule, generally the less seriously they treat it. And
Okay.
the federal schedule is different from state schedule. For example, in North Carolina, even though marijuana is illegal, it is a Schedule 6. For Schedule 1, you're going to get something like heroin. So, and then everything in the middle. In my work, I mostly see 1, 2, and 6. I don't think I could tell you everyone that's a 3, 4, 5, because they are not as well known. But don't do drugs.
So let's
Listen
all go
to
out
George
and get some
H.W.
fentanyl.
Bush. So
is that
I
how you
think
tell if someone's an undercover cop? If you just like wave some fentanyl under their nose and see if they die immediately? I'm sorry, that was just some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen of cops freaking out when they thought fentanyl had touched them.
Yeah, because they've been trained to give themselves a panic attack when it's nearby.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think maybe let's hold off on that for episode 700 at least.
Yeah, that's what I said. It's not a 700 episode, but I think it would be fun. Because, like, I know someone very close to me who has done, like, all the drugs. So maybe we could get their perspective on things. Maybe we could get a guest in. But because this is the thing that people might not know about me. I've never done any kind of mind-altering substance. I've never even been drunk. Whoops. So.
Which means you're the first one that will have to try it out on.
That's what everybody keeps saying. They're like, I'm going to get you drunk. I'm like, sure you are. I'm going to get you high today. You're like, okay, Smokey. I've seen that movie.
My dad thought it would be hilarious to try to get me drunk on my 21st birthday. And it didn't happen. But
Chewy is straight edge? No, see, that's another label. I don't do labels. Dudes who are straight edge are just freaking weird. Or at least they were, back in the day.
I'm trying to think of...
Is that still a thing? Do people claim to be straight edge?
I don't know that I've heard that
Can someone
term.
kick them in the face? I do caffeine. Yeah.
We've done episodes before.
And I kill hookers.
Oh, sorry.
But that's not a drug, so it's fine. In Grand Theft Auto games. Calm down, Brian. Calm down, Brian.
I figured that's what you were going for. I had a thread. Oh, so we've done like the would Solid Snake have Shroud sort of episodes before. We haven't done anything like that in a while, but I also know that we've explored a lot of different
these days.
a lot of mediums because enter Secret Lair. So
I think Universes Beyond was what you were looking for there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. But so it's only a matter of time before there is a Solid Snake card. It's not a fantasy anymore. It's not even a Final Fantasy anymore. Haha. They should be hopefully getting to those previews before too long. That I'm actually still looking forward to.
That's next year, right?
Yeah, which means, I'm sure we'll start previews next week. So
yeah, all right.
But in all seriousness, yes, I do think that it's next year. But no, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what mediums have we not touched. We've done books, movies, TV shows, video games, poetry. Ooh, poetry. Like you're gonna think I'm silly, but like Edgar Allan Poe is the man, and like the Raven would totally have flying, or would it? Is it just an illusory bird? Because the question is it really there or not?
Yeah, we could have a Leaves of Grass draft theme throughout the set.
Who's the guy that was all into the nature? Walden.
No, Walden.
Or was he? Yeah, but he was more
else.
He was Thoreau.
There you go.
There we go. But he did more essays than poetry. So,
oh my God. Yeah, Walden was
you lost me, so.
Walden was the name of the book.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Walden Pond?
No,
Walden Pond. No, just Walden. Yeah.
Yeah. Leaves of Grass was Whitman, right?
Yeah. Pretty sure. I
would
could make
Aeneas have trample?
Do what?
You know, there.
I said, would Aeneas have trample?
See in the chat, Ben said, "Would Walt Whitman have trample?"
No.
In all caps.
The poem, Casey. Is it Casey?
Casey at bat or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I know that. I think
you're trying too hard there, Hoss.
What's it called? Looney Tunes, I think, made an animated version of Casey at bat, but it was definitely a poem first. So
I think that was a Tiny Toons episode.
It was before that too. Oh no, it was a Disney one from '46.
I thought there was one with Bugs Bunny where he ended up getting a home run, and he's running around. He's like, "What? You thought I'd lose?" or something.
Yeah, but that wasn't a Casey at the bat thing. That was just a baseball episode.
Well, I thought it had all of the words to Casey at bat, except that he changed it at the end. But I feel like I'm getting a little afield, maybe a left field. So
there's one called Baseball Bugs. No, I think your brain is just conflating those two cartoons.
Okay,
is my
guess.
Could
very well be the case. I'll look it up later because the internet has all the answers. Oh, I felt like it was almost an idea there, but it was probably too broad. Something about like what we use the internet for, but I don't want to know everything Chewie uses the internet for on his own time. So
internet.
Thinking that too, but I decided not to.
I think Judge Infinus in the chat got there before you guys did. So, which with the delay is really interesting that at least 3 people were having the same thought.
I was too. I knew someone else would take it first. I figured it would be Dirk, honestly. But
yeah. And that's something I'm gonna have illegal substances. We'll see. But I'm afraid I can't really, in good conscience, Yeah.
Oh my god.
Mike, any thoughts about? I know you've thrown out 1 or 2 ideas. Anything percolate while we've been talking?
What if we did? Instead of using poetry, what if we used porn?
I mean,
like we could have like your standard red damage spell be called the backshot. I'm sorry. I'll stop.
I mean, I feel like this is a very slippery slope. Oh my god, no. Oh, the jokes just kind of write themselves without even.
Sorry,
wanting...
Mike. You were about to say.
I guess I have to now. Let's see.
Please.
I'm so sorry. I couldn't resist.
Do you think it'd be feasible at all for us to be able to get together for a live game, or not anytime soon?
I don't know if I have the capability to record live games anymore.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
With your setup being the way it is?
I mean, I don't even know if I still have that old laptop. What the hell did I do with it? That is
the Windows update on that one would be
oh Jesus,
take a while.
That's
I guess one of us would have to do it on our phone or something.
Oh, the quality of that would be.
Yeah, that's something I need to look into. I don't know where the hell that laptop would be.
Can you even make like a 2.5 hour long voice memo, or does it stop after a while?
I have no idea.
So I think that's an interesting idea, but I think the two thoughts that could be problematic are, number one, our own scheduling, and number
Dirk
two,
lives very far away now.
True.
Well, and that kind of folding that into the first concern, and then number two, Chewie's ability to record, and the thought that we probably don't want to wait. Like, let's say, oh yeah, we can all get together in June. We may not want to wait that long, so because we're right on the cusp, and we can do some just chatting, and we can take a couple weeks off. But at a certain point, people are going to be like, all right.
Are you guys actually gonna keep going? Yeah.
That will kind of be the unintentional joke after a while. So, what was it that Cluze was saying? 699A, B, Zeta, Kappa.
I wonder how many times we could do a 699. Like, there's 26 letters of the alphabet. How many letters are there of the Greek alphabet?
I was just thinking we could do it like the Minecraft updates. So there's episode 699 point 12 point and just do something like that. Just keep doing an update. Oh, we've updated things, so we're in the 699.13 point something something build.
Will there be patch notes?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll just stop calling them show notes and start calling them patch notes.
Yeah, I'm not writing the patch notes. Does anyone ever actually read those anyway?
I like reading patch notes.
I'm sorry, did you just say you like... Okay, I guess for a game, I might be like, yeah, this unit is added or whatever.
Yeah,
I
used to read the patch notes for Hearthstone and Heroes of the Storm, like, intently.
I would read... So for Heroes of the Storm, I would be like, okay, I'm reading, what the new units are if they've changed an ability. But for the volume they would put out, I would skim a good 90% of it. And then probably I'd be in a match and I'd be like, wait, what do you mean this doesn't work? What do you mean there's, and I'll have to figure out on the fly. But that probably says more about me than it does about you.
Yeah, like, just looking at my Steam What's New tab here, I've got patch notes for Vampire Survivors and patch notes for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. What? Chaos mode and versus mode. What?
Oh, wow.
How did I... Oh, it's from the 9th. Okay, it's just from last week. Apparently they've added 2 new modes to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night and thrown in a free Shantae cosmetic pack. What? Okay.
I supported the original Kickstarter for that, and I still have not played it.
Well, you can get to it around the time you're done playing Diablo and watching Supernatural.
It's really good. If you like, the Metroidvania style Castlevanias.
Mm-hmm.
I played it. I'm gonna have to go back in and see what Chaos mode is. I don't know what the hell that is. Anyway,
I'm feeling a bit tapped. I know we still don't have one like the have it. Blah. Wow, I'm butchering
good
this.
Lord, dude, get it together.
That I know we haven't had the oh my god, this is it moment, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just kind of stretching at this point.
There were a couple more ideas from the Discord. Someone was like,
okay.
Hey, what if you get some of the old hosts? And I was like
Mr. Suitcase? Yeah.
No, we don't talk about him anymore. I couldn't, like, the only old hosts I could think of are like Squanto. Like, AJ was on a couple episodes back in the day.
Oh, my brother Thomas.
Yeah. Is he still alive?
There was a super nice guy who wrote for Wizards. He did one of the just for fun columns back when they had a regular weekly rotation. He was also an attorney, so we kind of bonded over some stuff. What was his name? I feel bad, I don't remember, but
is that Anthony Alongi?
No, I know who that is.
Is he an attorney? I can't remember.
I want to say Nate somebody, but I feel bad not remembering his name. But it's just been a long time, and we don't know each other personally.
Benny Smith? I don't think Benny Smith's an attorney.
No, this was somebody that wrote for Wizards, just doing a casual column. I think he lived out in that area.
That area.
Okay, the Western United States.
Oh, okay.
Super nice guy. And see, look, here's the thing. I'd have to go back and find the episodes where he was on. Do you think they meant Squanto? Because anything else is really kind of stretching it. Bill has been one of our more regular guest hosts.
Yeah, but even that stopped when he was on Monday Night Magic.
Yeah.
Wait, he was on episodes with us? This attorney you're thinking of?
Yeah, a couple, not
one or two. Was he the person who did that Commander Hall of Fame with the long list for the different colors? And
I think so, yes.
It was like an update of something Adam Styborski had done in the past.
Yes. Yeah.
What is his name? I even sent. Was he also I think. Gosh, I can't remember his name. He might have also been the person who was able to get my deck on Blackblade signed at that event. I sent it to him in a greeting card with a self-addressed envelope for him to send it back. Dang it! What is that man's name?
Yeah, and again,
I feel awful
super
now.
super nice guy. But Mike, here's the thing: you're not going to remember everyone you come into contact with over 15 years.
Yeah.
Ben, maybe?
No.
Oh, shoot that down. No, I don't mean Ben like that was his name. I meant Ben like as a host, because he's been on a couple times. I really feel like the other guy's name was Nate, but I may be thinking of the wrong Nate.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not. It's
some random Chandra stuff that I had won in a raffle to him to give to his daughter because she likes Chandra a lot. Oh, I feel awful. What is his name?
Man, I've completely I've completely derailed the conversation.
I remember all these other things, and I can see his face in my head, but I'm stuck.
I think that's a different person. Yeah, we'll have to figure this out later. I have no idea who that could be.
Okay, maybe Brian remembering different people, maybe.
I feel like Brian is remembering, or Mike is remembering a different person, though. As far as the Chandra stuff.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
I feel like that was a listener we sent that to. Oh, well.
Well, I mean, he was a listener. That's part of how we got to know him.
No, I mean a different one.
No. I think I'm right on that point.
If you say so. Whatever you say, Mike. Someone else in the Discord, getting back to the topic at hand, was like, just, take the easy way out and make a clip show. And I was like,
clip show.
Dear God, do you know how much work a clip show would be at this point?
Good luck, Chewy. See you later.
Yeah, that sounds like way more work than actually coming up with an idea.
I mean, that is kind of the classic fallback for shows when you don't have an idea, but that would be more work for us.
Yeah.
We had someone go back and catalog a ton of facts about old episodes, so we might be able to use that as a guide, but it'd still be an immense amount of work.
Yeah.
Who was it? We could put together a new soundboard.
Oh, did Jars make that the first time?
Jars has done a lot of work for us over the years, but no. How about I had something. So
all my stuff is mechanic stuff. Is magic stuff.
So 700. What's the opposite of 700? Negative 700?
Negative
No.
700.
Like vertically with. Like on the other side of the x-axis would be negative 700. What's the opposite of it than the y-axis?
I'm not sure.
I guess it would be negative. Oh, and Phineas said 007. We could do a James Bond episode.
Or find whatever episode 7 was and re-record it.
I'm sure if it was episode 7, we were having technical difficulties at least half the time. It took us a good 2 years to work past most of that. Like,
Ben said the 4 of us should just play GoldenEye. God, I wish. Although, can we play Perfect Dark instead? It was a better game. I've got we could emulate it. I could figure out how to get 4 controllers set up. We could play.
No looking at my screen.
I think all the N60. I think all of mine and my brother's N64 stuff is still at my parents' house. I think we had 4 controllers.
Jimmy and I would play it forever. We never owned it. We would just rent it pretty much all the time. And the main objective after a while became playing at like the facility or something, and both of us just laying as many mines down as humanly possible.
Well, yeah, it's. Once I figured out the quick trigger for remote mines, then that became my favorite weapon.
Sure.
Because, instead of throwing the mine and then pulling out the remote and triggering it, you could, throw, and then there was some combination of 2 buttons you could push that would just make it explode.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I knew someone was around the corner, I would just pop out, throw it, bloom. Sometimes that'd kill me, too. But, that's the price you pay for using a remote mine.
Mine was always the proxy mine.
And what I would do
is I would find a room that only had one way in, and I would just throw the proxy mines against the door. And then when anyone tried to open the door, the proxy mine would blast through the door and kill them.
Yeah. Just walk into a room or around a corner or up to a door, and all of a sudden your screen would just go red. You'd be like, "What?"
I remember the temple had those big, thick stone doors. I would slap a mine on the bottom of the door.
Yup.
Some of those missions in single player mode to try to do on 007 difficulty or whatever were just mind-numbingly difficult. For me, again, that was one of those early games that really defined challenges and how okay, I've beaten the game, but I really want to push myself a little further, and I try some of them, I'm like, nope, not fun anymore. Something like doing the one where the girl has to hack the computer and you have to protect her, but not getting hit at all. No, can't do it.
Yeah, I managed to do a bunch of those, but there were a few that were just input. One of them was do the facility in a minute and a half or something stupid like that. I just never could get that.
Right. I'm right there with you. So
I did love all those cheats though, because that's what those would unlock would be a new cheats.
Big head mode,
Donkey
unlocking
Kong
all
mode.
the weapons. Yeah. I unlocked Odd Job. And keep in mind, this is before the internet. I didn't really know how good he was, and I was like, I'm not going to play as the short guy. I can't see. I'm always having to aim up. Who wants to just aim up the whole time? So he was not banned in my house because we didn't really understand how good he was at all.
Yeah. Same.
Why would you play as Odd Job when you can play as Jaws and have 3 times as much of a hitbox? Asking the real
we
questions.
Were dumb kids.
We were having fun with a video game. We weren't, min-maxing.
You remember the sentry
time.
gun in Perfect Dark? Or no, the laptop gun?
I played Perfect Dark for a while, but I did not play it to the same extent. So what was the sentry gun?
Well, the
Would
laptop
it spit
gun
out a sentry?
was, yeah, it was the laptop gun. It was a laptop that turned into a gun. But its secondary mode was a sentry, so you could set up a turret. And this was before, like Team Fortress or any of that, where you had the engineer or whatever he's called, or Overwatch with Torbjorn. So you could set it up like in a corner, and it would stick to walls or ceilings or floors or whatever. So you could put it somewhere out of the way where someone wouldn't see it until it was too late. And oh, those were the days. I love places that had like long hallways, so I would put it up in the corner to where someone would come out and like go that way, like to the right, to run down the long hallway, and I'd put it up and to the left. So all of a sudden they're getting shot, and there's nowhere to go but keep running or run back towards it, so they would just die. My roommate's buddy, what's his name, David, and I would play that all the time, sophomore year, and he would routinely cuss at me because of laptop sentries. Sorry, we got caught reminiscing about old Nintendo 64 games.
Hey, if you were around for GoldenEye, you remember that was really honestly a touchstone.
Yeah, because like first-person shooters on consoles were sort of crappy. Like, they weren't they weren't to the same level as PC ones until GoldenEye happened and kicked that off.
Yeah.
And then Perfect Dark just kept it going and added like bots, so you could have like 16-person matches, as long as most of them were bots. And there were different, all the bots had different personalities, and you could set different difficulty levels on each bot.
Mm-hmm.
Like there was one who was programmed to just run around and pick up weapons and hoard them so that no one else could have them.
Yeah.
I love that game. When it came out on the remaster came out on the 360 on Xbox Live Arcade, I bought that up and put way too much time into it.
I saw that they were doing a re-release or like a remaster of it on a particular game system. I don't remember which one. It might have been the Wii. And I was like, oh, that's going to be great. And the reviews were not kind.
For Perfect Dark?
No, for GoldenEye, sorry. One Track Mind.
Oh. There was a re-release, 2 re-releases of GoldenEye just recently. I say recently. But there was one on the Switch, right? On the Nintendo 64 thing on Switch Online. And then I think there was one... Was it on the Xbox? And one of them had the option to change the controls and the other one didn't. There each one had different pluses and minuses, or pros and cons for each one, and it was just a weird release thing. because one of them fixed something and the other one didn't. I'm like, what? And then the other one fixed the controls, but the one that fixed whatever the other thing was didn't. I'm like, what are you talking about? Anyway, sorry, we're still on Nintendo 64 games. I don't know, you guys. I guess we could put 700 off again.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
we
getting
may
kind
have
of late.
to.
Yeah, although we have just spent almost 2 hours not coming up with something to do. But
We've gone through a lot of ideas, and some of them were okay. And that's all I'll say on that.
and then there were Brian's ideas.
Yeah. I was not the one that suggested reviewing illicit drugs. That was somebody else.
Well, that was a joke, not the reviewing part. That Delta emulator on iOS plays in 64 games, he thinks. Oh. Yeah, apparently they've just released a couple of emulators on like iOS that one is like a PS1 emulator and one is like a old Nintendo systems emulator, and they're just there to download. They don't have ROMs with them, you have to acquire those yourself, yar. But because emulators themselves are not even legally gray. They're perfectly fine. And if I could remember my Apple password. Okay, I got a new phone, right? And in order to transfer everything over, I had to put in my Apple password. Which I did. And if I didn't, then I changed it. I think I had to change it. And I was able to, log into the cloud, my Apple account, and transfer everything over to the new phone. Chifuji mentioned these emulators that are in the iOS store, and I went, ooh, and I went to download them, and it was like, enter your Apple password, and I went, and I could not remember what my Apple password was, and I went to change it, and somehow or another, I got to a screen that told me I had to enter my Apple password so that I could change my Apple password, and then I got pissed off and stopped. I'm not entirely sure how I did that, but that is some Ouroboros nonsense there.
Yeah, I think if you've just like flat out forgotten your password now with Apple, you have to call customer service and get someone on the phone and go through some whole other rigmarole. They've really locked it down, I guess, for security and privacy reasons.
In the last 3 weeks?
Like in the last couple of years.
Because I just changed it. If I either remembered it or changed it just like recently. I don't know. It's very strange. But anyway, well, I guess I should remind everybody. Let's go to patreon.com/themanapool to become a lifeguard. You get access to the entire backlog of odds and ends. Because, except for $6.99. I haven't posted that one yet. But the rest are all caught up. And let me thank our mythic lifeguards, by the way, in this order. No, this order. There we go. Let me thank Al, Kim Ho, Scuzzo, John Parker, Jake Jansons, Michael, whoever the hell that is, Team You Hellas Haryu, Jason Kaus, Casey, Jason Doan, ALK Alters, and Andrew Odie. Hey, you guys remember the last episode I mentioned that Al was super excited for Hades 2?
Yeah.
And Hades 2 just dropped one day since then on in early access. And Al was in the Discord freaking out. So I was like, hey, I just talked about that on the show recently.
Cool.
Apparently, it's really damn good, even though it's still in early access.
Well, since the first one was extremely good, I never played it, but everybody I've talked to that plays it, like you, was like, it's amazing. So
yeah, it in its first day of early access, I think it broke the original Hades number for number of concurrent players. I was like, oh.
Awesome.
Oh. But anyway, thank you to all of our Mythic lifeguards and all of the lifeguards at every tier and everybody who listens or watches or what have you. We appreciate you. And all of you, subscribed on Twitch or on YouTube or whatever. Go subscribe to The Deep End, the other YouTube channel, because I am back on the Lord of the Rings project. Finally, after all this time, I finally have a few minutes here and there to start that again. Yeah.
Nice.
It's all right. So, should we just stop?
Let's stop for now.
All right, then. Well, chat, I appreciate y'all coming to help us try to figure stuff out. But yeah, I guess we'll come back. We'll circle back to it later. It'll be fine. And I've got all this recorded so I can listen through it and see if there's anything there that jumps out at me later. Oh. I don't remember what O was. Man, I'm also tired. It's all right then. So, thank you all so very much for joining us. And something 700.